want them to be, and then you've got a lot of people. I mean, some of the local farmers might be living at your place because the crops are bad, and you say like, yeah, okay, you can help tend to my fields and live under my roof, and then you're expected if the shit hits the fan to take up a sword or spear and help the huskarls. So the longhouse is always going to have some people because feuding is a big thing during this time.
Yeah.
So is there just an informal relationship between the goatee and perhaps more preferred huskarls? Like, his right-hand man might not have an official title. He's just, everybody knows he's the more important one?
There could be, yeah. And Balter's kind of trying to set himself up as that guy as much as possible because he wants to be the man. He wants to be the guy's replacement.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, it sounds like we're officially back. Sorry about that. As I mentioned at the start of the show, there's a thunderstorm here, and I lost power for exactly 3 seconds. But because I have a solid-state drive, it started up very quickly, and we're back running in less than, I don't know, like 2 minutes.
I need to get me one of those.
Live, there was a slight skip on YouTube. There's going to be a video break here. Yeah, but we're about an hour and 10 minutes in anyway, so it wasn't too terrible. I love the way this river bay is turning out. I'm assuming the river part is on the interior of these blue lines.
Yeah, well, I think the bottom half of the map, I'm intending it to be like ocean, and then it goes off into kind of
So you guys live on the west coast, maybe, of Iceland?
I mean, if we're going to be like a fishing village, I almost wonder if like we're kind of spread out among these areas, and we have a couple of like bridges that go over. Kind of the reason why I went with this, I was suggesting this. I mean, we can change it, but is because it kind of gives you very easy access to get longboats into kind of the I guess the dock. You can go up the river, you can go down the river. It kind of gives you a good base of operations. And I figured a lot of older communities tend to set up alongside rivers because it means you have relatively easy access to moderately fresh water.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to have, at the very least, a river dumping out into the ocean, if not, rather than just the ocean itself.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a map of Iceland today, you'll note the fact that despite the fact that it isn't quite that small, it's actually decently sized. Even though we only have 300,000 people, all the population centers are just seaside. Just we
much like Australia. Yeah.
It's.
I guess I should look at a map of Iceland to see if there are actually any rivers that dump into the ocean before I suggest that.
No, I mean this is a semi-fictional Iceland, so
you're doing
right above Reykjavik or whatever.
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik.
Oh, I nailed it. I sounded kind of like I almost
said
it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, I played EVE Online for a bunch of years, so
could be near Reykjavik. We could also be the south side, slightly to the east of Reykjavik. There is.
Remember, it doesn't even exist yet.
Right.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I don't know.
Maybe this is the side of Reykjavik, right?
We're just drawing inspiration, right?
Yeah.
So where on this neat little map is the longhouse through which 30 to 40 people might live from?
I kind of feel like the longhouse would be right on the peninsula because it is probably the most easily defensible location for a longhouse.
Oh,
if I was going to build like a base or not a base, but build a place of power, like right along there would be where I would do it.
Right.
Like here, not my incredible drawing skills.
Or
that.
I don't even know what the scale of this particular drawing would be, but yes,
I have
like
no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea what's.
Yeah, I feel like if we need a lot of room for a town, that box should be representative of a lot of buildings.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you guys aren't that close together, right? There's fields, there's places to go.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always.
The nameplates are a little off, but
always going to be a lot of isolation, and probably
so maybe some fields over here.
No, I'm adding some bridges to kind of. I assume the bridges were a thing that they
Oh, bridges. You've never been to Iceland. Yeah.
Well, I imagine there are a lot now, but I don't know about back then.
Back then, that you'd usually find like you wouldn't really find bridges. You'd find places that were safe to cross and try and cross it on horses because
Okay.
you didn't want to get yourself too wet. But bridges were a total luxury.
Okay.
So
So
maybe
probably
you
no
guys don't
bridges
have bridges, but maybe this. You have shallow draft boats, so maybe there's parts of the river that, it just it splits up like a river delta, and some of them are really shallow and easy to cross.
Yeah. That's a nice crossings are pretty much, yeah. That sounds. But then again, we're doing our Iceland. We can like totally
Yeah,
be awesome and
Yeah.
build a bridge.
you guys
That's
could.
right. Yeah.
Your goatee maybe spent a good
Yeah.
amount of his fortune. Maybe in the past summers, you guys made a lot of money going to Viking, and decided to. You tell
Right, a
me.
bridge.
You
I like
tell
that
me.
idea. I like the idea that we had like one of those kick out years where everything's hitting aces, and we come back and it's more money than we know what to do with. So he builds this amazing bridge that goes over from our long houses to our like field area on whichever side that chooses to be on. So that
Yeah.
the population doesn't have to, they don't have to toil through the mud with all of the goods. They can look under their feet and see the success of their goatee.
Yeah. We like totally raided an English village just like the start of the summer when they were about to build a church, and we're like, hey, we're gonna take the loot and we're gonna take all your lumber and bring it back. And like the
Oh,
goalie goes like, hey,
so
let's build a
cool.
bridge.
There you
Is
go.
this green? Is this fields?
Yep. I'm adding.
Fantastic.
I like it.
Let me ask, where do each of you live? Where does the crone live? Where is Bertie Hald's daughter? And where's her house? And where is the dwelling of Baldur Odinson?
I'm gonna.
So should we have
in
like
the
a zoomed in
longhouse.
map on the longhouse, or do you guys think there's enough room on this peninsula for us to draw the houses?
I can make that house bigger if you'd like. If you want the longhouse to be like, this is the size of dwelling that would accommodate 30 people. Or did you want to like draw a box near with the north thing and be like, this is,
It's just zoomed in.
yeah.
I'm okay with
This-
either because I'm pretty much gonna be always in the longhouse. You know, always within earshot of the of Olavur. You know.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
I don't think you'd settle on a peninsula where it was barely big enough to fit a longhouse. Because if it rains too
Yeah.
hard, you don't want your knees getting wet in your
That's true.
longhouse. So I like the location on the map and everything. I think we just zoom in on the little box and say the black box is the town, right?
Yeah, and yeah, that sounds. And I mean, just a small part of that is the longhouse, and there's like lots of houses around.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, you know how like the map they'll do like a little circle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll like
Oh,
hit magnify.
so we're saying
Yeah.
like the upper right hand corner is gonna be like
Yeah.
the town. We'll do the upper left.
No, I mean, I can move
Wherever.
this reclusive hut.
No,
It can be over here.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sure,
All right,
yeah, that's
then
fine.
Let's draw the longhouse within the black box. And where do you guys live in relationship to that?
Un the Crone actually lives on the other side.
Oh
of it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult cross to get over there.
How far? How many leagues? How many farlongs do you? Is farlong even a unit of distance? I don't remember.
I thought
my,
leagues was a unit of depth. So
Yeah,
we'll
it
go
is.
with 0 leagues.
You need to swim down to get there. She's like
That's right.
really reclusive.
Yeah, it's actually underneath the river. About no, it is a hike, but not so far that an old woman couldn't travel to town in a day. So we'll go ahead and say
How many angstroms?
I don't even know what unit of distance that is. What is an ekstrom? Is that like
Don't worry about it. It's picometers, hundreds of picometers.
okay?
We should like say that she's if the hut's over
Like,
there.
whoa!
that's,
First off, by the way, league is 3 miles on land. It is a measure of distance.
We'll
Before you haters, yes, it is.
go say 2 leagues then.
Oh, so you live about 6 miles outside of town.
6 miles.
Yeah.
So that seems like a bit of a ways for.
Yeah, that would be quite a walk. You would spend
Yeah.
some time just getting. But I mean, it does mean when people need the magic, they do have to make a considerable trip to get to you.
That's true.
Yeah, they would have to really need your help.
Yeah.
6 miles isn't that far though. I mean, it's further
Remember
in that
there's
time.
not a super huge amount of like free time here. You know, you got to work
Yeah.
the fields.
I mean, it would be effectively like at minimum a morning to get out to her
Exactly.
and back.
Yeah.
If not longer in the day, which back then, like wasting 5 hours of daylight to go have a chat with Un the Crone is not something you're gonna do, lightly, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll go with 6 miles outside of town. She does have her apprentice to help with the tasks around, so she's not completely helpless out there. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, cool.
She positions herself outside of society, but she definitely wields influence enough that people, I hope anyway, people will seek her out for her gifts.
Yeah. She can always come in, when she's in great need, she can always come into town, make a little bit of money by telling some fortunes and getting some food and yeah.
Is there a holy day in Icelandic culture?
It's quite
I can tell you, I haven't mentioned yet, but I can tell you we're going to start out with the goatee having a blot and making a sacrifice.
Okay.
So it is a holy day. He's master of the blot.
Okay, then I will
I'm
very
definitely
likely
pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah, a little bit bloat,
Bloat.
but
bloat.
it's it got when the Christians arrived, they wrecked the name, and a bloat now means to curse because
Is it like a blight? Like is that how we got the word for blight, or is that something different?
might be. It's a lot of. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a sort of Germanic. It's probably got roots from Europe and that area.
Stone altar
where
blood sacrifice. Yeah, man. So this guy in chat makes a good sense. Civilizations established near water built their dwellings on stilts to deal with flooding. Is this longhouse built, like on stilts above ground to recognize the area around you as being like easily flooded?
I like to think it's not, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay.
It doesn't have to be if you don't want it to be.
We could always.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
We could always, have a couple of, rocks make a little, flood garden. But
okay.
I mean, it doesn't get that much. Shouldn't be that much flooding.
I like how we now have a measurement of leagues.
Yeah.
Awesome. See how much work the players are doing for me?
I know.
The only thing I was going to say against building it on stilts means that's a lot of lumber because you have to have a floor.
Very rare. Yeah.
And so that's the only reason I would say maybe not. Now maybe there's a
on
hill.
No,
There's no reason there can't be a hill.
We could build it on a hill.
Course. Yeah.
I mean, that
reminds me of one of the cities in Banner Saga where you go to like one of these coastal places and it's like raised up. And the land around it.
What's the Lannisters' keep?
Casterly Rock.
Right, yeah. It could be on a bluff or something. I mean, we can put it on whatever we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have it on a hill. That's also more defensible. Like, good. Give us good.
That's really great land for you guys. Like shallow draft rivers, a nice hill you can defend. This is beautiful land.
Yeah. Other people are gonna want it.
House is about 3,000 feet tall. I like how you did like exact measurements. You're like, well, if this is a league and that's so many miles, and this is okay.
So I'm gonna draw some little lines where I think the bluffs would be that might be impassable to like.
So we don't have to do it immediately, but in the upper right-hand corner, we can draw the longhouse and where you guys live at. Do you live at the longhouse, basically? I think that Baldur said that he did.
Yeah. The Huskarls usually do.
Olaf Olafsson, however, has a house He has a
Yeah.
roof provided him by Bertie, Hild's daughter.
That's right. So I'll need a house location at some point.
Yep. We'll work on that. This map is coming along fantastically. I need to talk about what the MC does. Unlike many games, the Master Ceremonies, or the Game Master, but Master Ceremonies works great for this game, can only make certain moves. I'm limited in what I can do. Anything I say to the players, any actions I take have to be something from the GM play sheet. Or sorry, Master of Ceremonies play sheet. So, yeah. I'm going to do a quick introduction to the year 900 AD, and then we're going to get started with the bloat. Bloat. What is it again?
Bloat.
Bloat.
You're getting better. It's getting there.
The year is 900 AD. Oh, sorry. The year is 900 AD. Around 25 years ago, the first Nordic settlers arrived. The oldest people around still remember how it happened. On the mainland, King Harald the Fair-Haired has waged a bloody war to conquer all of Norway. People fleeing to Iceland are refugees, outlaws, dispossessed nobles, political dissidents, or simply farmers trying to start a new life in a new peaceful land. So, I think we start at the stone altar with like a dead sheep with a knife, like a huge, ridiculously sized, like wedge-shaped knife that tapers down to this really thin hilt, sticking in its neck, and the camera zooms back, and there's the depiction of like Ragnarok on this giant circular stone that's like 5 feet tall behind the altar. And it keeps zooming out, and there's a man with his hands up, and he says, "It will be a good year. I, Godi of this longhouse, Olaf Ragnarsson, have seen that the gods have favored us. The Norns will provide this year. It is spring now, and soon my Huskarls will go raiding. I have had the foretelling from Un the Crone that we shall be victorious." And he like gestures down towards Un the Crone, and sort of like has you come up towards the stage, the altar. Do you do what he asks?
When the crone begins moving forward slowly, deliberately so, almost as if she likes the fact that the crowd is waiting upon her words. And she gets up to the altar and looks at those gathered, inspects the sacrifice, dabs her finger in the blood, tastes it, and looks out and reiterates, "The blood of this." I can't even do this now. I haven't done it in too long. She says, "The blood of the slaughter will ensure great success within this village." And she looks at him
Would you like to? Now, this is how it goes. You've said something that might activate a move.
Yep.
Do you feel like it's time for you to make your Vuva move? We can have a quick flashback to when you had this vision of what's happening.
Sure. Yeah, it is one of those. I was asked to do this.
You don't technically say, like, you're never like, I make the vulva move. You say something that would trigger my interest, and I would say that sounds like you're trying to cast a vision of the future.
So, yeah, so let's go with that. Then
Okay.
the definition of this is that I actually cast the rune-carved bones, so I probably take...
I think we have a flashback to, like, you and your apprentice standing over a bowl where your rune-carved bones are in.
Yep.
Let's see what numbers lie face up on those bones.
Okay, rolling. Ooh, on a 7 to 9, I ask you 2 questions, but the rest is hidden. So, I am going to ask, who do I see, and what do I see happening to them?
I think you see Baldur Odinson and Olaf Olafsson back to back, standing atop. Oh, and I'm sorry, what was the second question?
Who do I see, and what do I see happening to them?
Yeah, you see them standing amid a shower of gold coins falling from the sky.
Okay.
But they appear to be like with their axe and their sea axe out. But you do notice that like the area around them is like raining gold coins.
Okay.
And this is the vision that you have had. The rest, the circumstances, is hidden to you.
Then I say to the crowd, "Great fortune comes to those who are strong enough to take it. Only those who work together against the fates may claim the riches."
Excellent. God is totally
Nice.
into this. Uh-oh. By the way, I think all you guys should have access to the common moves list, just in case you don't have it someplace else.
No, I don't.
Excellent.
That is good to have.
Yep. It's definitely something you're going to want to keep in mind. All right. So, I mean, what do you guys do now? You hear that there will be riches. Moon the Crone addresses the crowd. So, actually, you know what? I think that the crowd is like, yes, someone among the crowd, and let's say it's Aesgarder. She steps forward, shield maiden that she is, and like she has her axe held upside down, so she's like holding it hilt side up, and she is like, "Yes, this spring and the summer shall bring us great favor. All hail to Oon the Crone. She has provided powerful magics for us. All hail to Olaf Ragnarsson." And the crowd is like, "Yes, yes, we shall eat well this summer, and we will be protected in the winter."
The summer, it will yield a great Viking. We will return with great riches. It will be glorious.
And Olaf stands and toasts and says, "Brother Moon will smile on us. Mani will smile on us." Mani? Is that right?
Yeah, Mani.
Mane, yes.
Mane?
Mane and all the rest will smile upon us from from the heavens. What should I say? From Asgard. The game character here.
All right. So, while you're standing around, Olaf Olafsson Jr., young Olaf that he is, comes running in and says, "Father, father, I have seen a man down the road to the south. He will not approach within a spear's throw of me. When I come towards him, he runs away. When I run back, he moves towards me. What is he doing, father, and why does he come towards the farmhouse?" And there's an immediate uproar around
What?
around the rest of the ceremony. Everyone's like, "What is happening here?" And you hear
An
someone
outsider?
say, "Yeah."
I will stand. Hush! We will go find this man and see what he wants.
We will grab
And
our weapons and find out if he comes in peace or if we need to slay him.
patience, Balder. The moon smiles on those who take their time. We will see.
Of course, of course.
Olaf! Olaf! My Don axe! Let us go see what he wants.
So I think Olaf Olafsson Jr. like grabs your axe, but he's still like not huge enough to carry it properly, and so he's like dragging it across the floor.
Exactly.
And let's see here. All of your Huskarl men, Aid, Thorfinnur, Njal, Grimshush, Aesgarder, Atlan, Mekli, and Uldun all form up behind the two of you in like two wings. And they all have weapons in their hands as well.
This is Mighty Ducks formation.
Yeah. Oon the Crone, what is your reaction to hearing that an outsider approaches from the south?
I stand quietly and just kind of blend into the background. This is not my scene.
Interesting.
We shall
Actually,
So-
I will. Sorry, I will say that I maintain a curious distance. I want to see what's going on. I will not be forefront, but I will, at the very least, see and hear what's going on.
Interesting. So while you are standing there, Boone the Crone, attempting to, fade into the background, the girl child Gurney, Thora's daughter, steps forward and says, "Halt your actions!
And why?
Cannot our great seeress, Boone the Crone, who has thrown the bones this day and seen our great fortune, can she not tell us who this approaching stranger is?" And she tapes a finger and starts tapping you on the chest. You've seen this behavior from Gurney recently. She's been very, very challenging towards you.
Okay.
But this is probably the first time she's ever done it in public.
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
That is an interesting question.
Remember that you have both your moves, the basic moves, and the female moves.
Oh,
Just
what
in case you're looking to solve this situation.
what are the female moves? When I entice a man, that's not going to be helpful. Let's see.
When you go to man to action, you should make somebody shut her up for you. Sorry, I should tell you what to do. There's just so many good choices with a
there
social
are-
game like this.
There are good choices. I believe that I kind of feel like I want to talk sense because I don't necessarily want
Okay.
like
Well,
for this character. Like I
Let's
can't.
have you literally raise your voice and talk sense. What sense do you speak?
Foolish child, you do not use the bones to simply ask who is at the door. You open the door and see for yourself.
Okay, roll versed. And because you are performing a move on someone you have a relationship with, Mark, you have 1 XP.
Okay. Oh.
Right, let's see what the bones hold in store for you. Unfortunately, they're coming up all Zoidberg.
Zoidberg's all the way down.
Let's see what happens to you. Yeah. All right. The people are everyone was running around, and the men were assembling, and the shield maidens were assembling behind their Huskarls. But now everyone stops and is like, "Un the Crone, if you are capable of speaking wisdom on this matter, as Gurney the child has said, why do you not speak on this? Why do you hold your tongue?"
What would she
The
say?
goatee, Olaf Ragnarsson, puts his hand on your shoulder. "Un the Crone, this man sounds dangerous. I do not wish my men to approach him if it is not necessary."
Very well. I will roll the bones for you and tell you what you seek. However, I believe this is foolishness. It is only a single man. Surely a company such as this could manage such a feat as introducing themselves.
That sounds like you're goading a man. You are goading. The question is, which man are you goading? You're definitely goading somebody.
I am
rather than
goading
rolling the
someone.
bones.
You're right. Let's
Can I
go ahead.
respond to that?
Yes.
Sure.
Exactly. No man will threaten this village as long as I, Baldur Odinson, protect it.
All right. It sounds like you are
And
goading.
I am goading. I did relinquish, but I am goading at the same
goaded.
time.
Let's see what
Yep.
happens.
So this is gendered, I think.
Yes, it is.
And all right, let's see if this goes any further. Oh my god,
Oh, snap.
it's the same roll.
Not good for you, friend.
No, I don't think so.
Not at all. Yeah. So you try to go Balder, but instead, I think goatee Olaf Ragnarsson backhands you across the face, and you're like, "You would presume to tell a man what to do? You, a frail old woman who lives in the woods? I brought you here as a position of honor in respect for your gifts, but you would entice me with your devilry?
At
Be
this
gone
point,
from my long haul this day. And he
Okay.
picks up his CX and he says, I have business to do. Come, my Huskarls.
okay.
We need no help.
Unicron exit scene left.
Yeah, I think that Unicron has like a trickle of blood coming down. And
Yep.
before the scene exits, we see Gurney the child like in the dark corner of the room smiling.
As she does.
Mm.
Out of curiosity,
Yes?
no, never mind. Would I get an XP for attempting to goad
Yes, you would.
Baldur?
Excellent
Okay.
point. Yeah. You have
Alright.
Wait, do you have a relationship with him?
Baldur? Yeah, I shared
Yes, you
this
do.
one's
You
bed.
shared his bed. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I was all like, nobody threatens this town as long as I'm here. Just reminding everybody of how important I am.
Is there a move that would? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Is that not a boast?
Oh boy, that does sound like it could be a boast. Let's see. Let's make sure before. What exactly? was
Boasting.
he
And when you
boasting
exalt the reputation of someone, including yourself.
Well, I am trying to make myself look really good.
about? Okay, let's roll. Yeah, you're trying to make yourself look better.
Yeah. 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
got a
good
7?
enough.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
What does that happen?
You need to tempt fate, friend. Make the basic common move, tempt fate roll.
That's
When
bad.
you tempt fate, roll plus weird. Fortunately, you have a +1 forward when you act on protecting the town.
So,
You
Okay.
rolled a
grand total
7,
of 8. With,
right?
you rolled a, plus
You have
1,
a
minus
7.
1.
The +1 is whenever you're acting towards protecting the town.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. As a 7, you tempt fate, but the fates gain a bond with you. Fantastic. Let me just write down real quick that, and this is going to be an important one, fate has a bond with Baldur Ragnar.
Okay.
Oh, so good. So good. Now, you can spend those bonds to do things. For instance, where is the spend a bond move? Ask people questions. When you look into someone's heart, spend bonds you have with them and ask them one question per bond spent. You can ask them, is your character speaking the truth? What does your character wish I would do? What does your character intend to do? What does your character feel about this? And how could I get your character to? Excellent. I'm going to spend that fate bond immediately. We have a side scene where the Norns are looking over the threads of life, and one of them whispers towards the thread that contains the life of Baldur Odinson, and says, "Oh dear, what? How could I get you, Baldur Odinson, to turn on Huskarl Olaf Olafsson?"
Oh. The fates are literally just whispering to me.
Yeah, they're demanding an answer as you run towards this this man traveling along the road.
Oof. Yikes.
It would take a great deal. Perhaps the lofty position of Gorther of this village would might do the trick, though.
Says all the trappings of a wish.
So when you say that, you hear the voice of one of the three Norns in your head. Like, that was just your subconscious talking, but now as you're like running and the scene is set, like you're coming towards this outsider, you hear in your voice the head of a woman that says, "Thank you." So you see a man who is dressed in tattered robes, who's carrying no weapons openly, but moves like he's used to carrying weapons. He has a brand on his forehead, He appears to be Icelandic or Norwegian, Viking at the very least. And as you approach him, he begins moving backwards. He is quite close to the village, however. He is at the edge of your fields now. He holds his hands up and walks backwards. What do you do?
Halt! Who goes there? Hver ert þú?
Olaf looms over Baldur's shoulder, smiling. A wide grin and a sparkle in his eyes.
He says, "My name is Freki. I am a sentenced criminal. Are any man among you the owners of a boat?"
I look around like, what is that to a criminal such as you? Why do you ask these questions?
Says, "I have been sentenced by the great All-Thing that I must travel and ask men if they are the captains of boats. If so, they must grant me passage off the island of Iceland for 3 years, or they must pay a fine to the Godi that has sentenced me of 4 marks of silver. I ask again, are any of you captains of boats?" And, over your shoulder, standing behind you, of course, very safely, behind this, line of men and women who carry weapons, your Godi is like, "No, there are no men here who carry boats for you. You are not welcome in our village, outsider. Come, you let this man pass through our village unmolested. Let us turn and return to the longhouse."
So what's the difference between captains of boats and Vikings like we are?
You are both captains of.
Yeah.
So in our village, are we the only captains of boats? Surely there's lots of people that are captains of boats, right?
In fact, I'm sure as he walks through the city, he's going to see boats stacked along the shoreline.
Aren't we supposed to be a fishing village?
Yes, but not fishing boats aren't going to be able to take him to England.
You're gonna need.
Would our longboats be able to take him to England?
Yes.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, they would.
Because they're
It
raiding
should be
boats.
clear,
Right?
your Godi is lying to him directly.
Right.
Yes.
So what do we as
Opportunities.
characters know about the culture? Is this guy like full of shit, or is this like a legit thing that would happen?
This is a legit thing.
This is it. This is
Yeah.
legit.
This is
He's
the
been
punishment.
sentenced to exile, and other people are basically expected to help carry out the sentence, or else they face a fine from the Althing.
So the All-Think is basically the ruler of this entire area? Is that
Not
right?
technically.
No,
So the
that's-
All Thing
there's-
is like a collection of priest judges.
Okay.
And there's no rulership per se. They set down a sentence, and other people are expected to carry it out traditionally.
They
What time of day is it?
meet.
I think that given that the ceremony just happened, it's slightly past noon.
They basically meet every 3 months, 4 times a year. They usually have one person from the northeast, one northwest, one southeast, one southwest, and they gather, and that's where all disputes are settled, basically, from the highest ranking godis.
All right.
So what our god is doing now is a punishable offense. And I'm like,
Yeah. So he's
"Ooh."
basically trying to pass the buck so that his town doesn't have to send somebody.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, awesome. This is gonna come to bite him in the ass, make me look better.
So what do you do? The two of you that are there.
I'm thinking, awesome. This is gonna come to bite him in the ass. I'm just gonna do what
Okay.
he says.
All right. So you have perhaps a secret grin that only the camera can see. Maybe you're in front of all of the others. We've already established you're definitely in front of Olaf because he's behind you. So maybe you're in the front and you've got this sly grin.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's breaking the law.
Yeah, I
Happy.
don't think this sits well with Olaf. Olaf looks at the goatee and sort of pulls his tangled beard. And he looks at the sun and he thinks, an inauspicious time to ask for a boat. The moon is not your friend. Not yet. And he'll bow to his goatee. He's a goatee.
Okay.
He knows what he's
but
about.
It's hard to pronounce.
What's that?
Gothi.
So
It's kind of hard
Gothi?
to pronounce. Gothi.
Gothi?
Yeah, it's got the difficult Icelandic letter of let's see,
F
Eth.
times. Oh, that's crazy. Now that that's in the chat log, I can copy paste it though. Fantastic.
And the lowercase, just to make things even more difficult, looks nothing like the uppercase one.
Oh. Okay.
So what happens, I think, is Atlan kind of like pushes Olaf Olafsson, and he says, "Are you not a man? You have a boat, and you would deny this criminal access off of our fair island? I do not want him coming through our town. You are a coward, Olaf, son of Olaf."
Me, a coward, and Olaf roars, his eyes flaring wide. Me, for all that I have done, and you come at me with these threats? Well, who are you to not trust the judgment of our Gothi?
Excellent.
Gothi.
I feel like perhaps your honor is in question. Would you feel that that's reasonable?
Almost certainly.
Well, it turns out that's a male move.
I know, I saw that.
Let's roll it then.
See if this works. So I rolled 2d6, and I don't have... Oh, I don't have a gendered number on there.
+1 says.
Yep.
Oh,
you
gendered,
have- you have a
+1. Yeah, I
7.
do have it on there. I'm good. Alright, cool. 7.
Your word is not enough, and they will offer you a way to prove it. Oh, oh man, so much cool stuff's happening all at the same time. Excellent. Okay. He offers you a way to prove it. He says, "If you will not offer this man your boat, I will take it from you then. I challenge you right here and now to the Hörmganga. You are not worthy of the title of Huskarl, those who would turn away criminals." He turns to like bring both the Goaty and Balder into that like encompassing gesture. He says, "I am Itlan, and I will destroy you in single combat, Olaf Olafsson."
You may challenge me, but you question our Gothi. His honor is the judgment here, not me. But I will stand for my boat, on my own, against you, and you shall fall like wheat before the scythe.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's what happens. Like all the rest of the men and the women begin forming a box around, and the criminal just stands at spears throw away and watches with interest.
Olaf,
Odinson.
my axe.
Baldur Odinson, what do you do while this duel
Uh,
begins?
I began watching with interest. I'm like still looking at the criminal, still looking at the Gothi, and then got a little sliger into the camera looking, oh man, this is going so badly for our Gothi. He's looking so bad. I'm going to spin this to my advantage. Like, people are getting killed over his poor decisions.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to, like, back
Excellent.
away from this for now.
So this is not a true Holmganga duel. We're not going to be using the Holmganga rules because we're not putting you on an island and no one's got 3 shields on them right now. But it is going to be a physical challenge between the two of you, which
Sure.
means you must roll to see your joy of life there, Olaf Olafsson.
One young roll, I'm assuming. Oh,
Indeed.
son. That's a
Did you roll a
9, baby.
10?
That's a
Yes.
10,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me how are you faster or stronger than him? How do you beat him?
I mean, how big is he? I'm supposed to be a giant.
Etlen. Well, I think Etlen is probably much like a young Balder. So he's very lean, very athletic, and cat-like. And he doesn't fight with a axe. He fights with a long knife. And he does like fancy like flipping the knife between them, and is trying to like gut you with it. Shifting constantly.
So what would the traditional thing be to do? Would it be to kill him or incapacitate him or humiliate him or...
It's a challenge, so you're just incapacitating him.
Right, okay.
Right? You just must endure grave harm.
Yeah, so then as he's flicking his knife about, I would feint with the axe and then grab his hand and like just crush his hand until he drops the knife out of it because he can't hold his hand anymore.
Oh, fantastic! So he drops to the
And
ground, screaming.
then perhaps an open slap to the face, just as just for, and then I would say something. Don't ever disrespect my longboat again, or my goatee. Smack, just right across the face. And just let him go so that he sprawls on the ground.
All right, Olaf Ragnarsson approaches you and says, Olaf Olafsson, you are correct. You have proven your honor this day versus Aetlan. I will see to make sure that he is well. If you wish to offer your longboat to this criminal, you can take him with you when you go a Viking.
If it is my goatee's wish, I will do this.
You have shown me the error of my ways. And I think, Oon the Crone, it's time to read that that fate of Olaf Ragnarsson, as you have asked.
So he is the one that slapped me
I think
in
so.
the longboat,
Here
right?
we have the scene. We see like Olaf putting his hand on Olaf Ragnarsson putting his hand on Olaf Olafsson, and then we zoom out, and it's like you looking into a pool of water next to your bones.
Yeah. So the way that I view this is that after the incident in the Longhouse, where I'm still tracking names here, but Un was like backhanded by Olaf Ragnarsson, right?
Yes, by the goatee.
And publicly shamed.
Oh, yes.
She hobbles out, with hate on her face, and goes to the nearest quiet place, and rolls her bones in the ground to look into his face, to give her some manner of comfort or potentially scorn, depending on what she actually sees. So she is rolling it. She has not seen any of this interaction. She's just doing this on her own.
Yep.
And let's see how this goes.
And that's when we take a break. Bam! We're gonna figure it out when we get back.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you launch that surprise attack for all right, guys.
Fair enough.
Thank you for sticking with us through this. We'll be back for the second half of Saga the Iceland in just about 10 minutes here. We got a couple shows and a couple schedule changes here. First time at the channel, of course, follow, like, and subscribe. On my Twitch profile, you can find the schedule by clicking the schedule button. This week, Big Region's canceled, but we got video game stream in its place. Wednesday, we have Deadlands Classic. Thursday, we have a Stars Without Numbers one-shot. Ben, were you attending that one? I don't know if I invited you.
You didn't invite me, but I couldn't go anyway.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's okay.
All right. Friday, we have Reign of Winter again. Saturday, we've got Pendragon. And Sunday, we're going to try Plunder and Peril again. So that's the schedule we're looking at. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this Vikinging-ness so far.
I like it.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
I feel like we're ramping up like way quicker than I had expected into plot. This is crazy.
Yeah. Things start. Things happen. Leave a comment in the Twitch chat or let me know on the YouTube comments right here on this video, who is your favorite character so far? It doesn't have to be a player character. Personally, my favorite is the child. Yeah, it's pretty clear that she's the one running the show. All right.
I think Un the Crone knows this as well.
Yeah. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, guys.
Oh.